or internally, your only other option is to say, well, it's a brute fact. It does not have an explanation either externally or internally. So which is it?
Wait, hold on. You've said that I haven't answered this. I've said this multiple
I'm
times
waiting
that
for
it's
an answer.
universal.
I've repeated the
No. I've
question
said
three
multiple
times
times
now.
that I've said multiple times it's universal. If you want me
It
to
does
say
not
that it's
address the
eternal,
question.
sure, I'll say it's eternal.
Okay.
Like I don't.
Okay. So the causal principle has always existed. So does that mean that there is an infinite regress of cause and effect?
Uh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's not coherent, Mr. Philosophical Smarty Pants. Okay.
I don't have a
If
problem with an infinite regress.
if there's an infinite regress, an infinity cannot be traversed. That's your first problem. Number two, okay. Number two, um, if there's an infinite regress of causal succession, then each event would be of a second order. Therefore, there
Well,
would
now
be
you're
no.
talking about the
Would
cosmological
not
argument.
deplete. Listen, no, I'm not. I'm not talking about the cosmological argument at all. What I'm talking, see, wow, you are such a sophist. You are so uneducated on this issue. It's embarrassing. Okay, I'm not making an argument here. I'm simply showing what you are advancing is internally incoherent. Okay, so I'll start again. When you say there's an infinite regress, first of all, you're going to have to tell me how you know that, which you haven't done. You just simply asserted it. Number two, if you assert there's an infinite regress, you have a problem because an infinity cannot be traversed. You're going to have to show me how an infinity can be traversed. The next problem is that if there's an infinite regress of causal succession, then each and every event that occurs in an infinite regress is of a second order. But if each event is of a second order, then nothing can be primary. If nothing is primary, you can't have second order events. Okay? That would be incoherent. Okay? So tell me how an infinity can be traversed.
Well, based on our current mathematical understanding, the infinite regress is possible to bound without.
No,
Uh,
sir.
it's possible.
No,
Hold on, dude. Let me
no.
finish.
Mathematics do
If
not
you're going to say that,
determine mathematics.
thank you. So, based on our current understanding of the way that the universe works, it is entirely possible that if you were to so, for example, if you were to calculate the current Schwarzschild radius of the universe, which is what determines the size of a black hole, if you calculate this, it's very likely. What happened? Why aren't we continuing to meet
This
this
is, I mean,
quote unquote
every
cockroach?
this is
Uh,
bullshit. What you just
this is okay. Thank you. So if we were to follow this through, it's granted. I'm not. I'm very much not the kind of person that claims that we know these things. But it again, this is one of many possibilities. The current mathematics suggests that the Schwarzschild radius of all the known mass in the universe is that of a larger radius than our current visible universe, meaning that it is entirely possible that we live within a black hole. Due to our understandings of the laws of nature, it's entirely possible that our what happened? What are we continuing to do this?
I mean, are you serious?
Are we continuing to?
Are you addressing my question?
Yeah, I actually am. If
I
you
mean,
were
really, dude. First
being a
of all,
cockroach about
you
this,
start giving me a little lecture that would impress 50-year-olds, but not a 6-year-old man who's conversant in the basics of philosophy. First of all,
and here, okay, hold on. Are we gonna? What happened? Are we gonna mute this guy?
mathematical
The
objects do not
what?
stand in causal
Hold on.
relations. Okay, mathematical objects do not stand in causal relations. So, giving me a little community college lecture about mathematics does not explain about the succession of events because mathematical objects do not stand in causal relations. Do you want to argue that mathematical objects, okay, stand in causal relations?
Uh, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, good. Okay, then there's no need to invoke mathematics because mathematics don't determine uh, what is and what happens or what can be and cannot be. Okay, they don't stand in causal relations. Number two. Okay, now you start talking about cosmology. You're just giving rhetoric here. You know, I know. Everyone in the room knows you're just filibustering. Now, listen very carefully. You didn't explain even in the least, okay, how an infinity can be traversed. Okay, so that's the first problem. Okay, let me ask you this question: If you and I,
What's the contradiction in
if
infinity
you
being
and I
traversed?
had unlimited fuel in a spaceship, Okay, this is a thought experiment. If you and I were in a spaceship and when we decided we're going to leave Earth and we're going to go to planet X, and we have unlimited fuel, unlimited resources, okay? We leave planet Earth and we're going to go visit planet X. But the distance between Earth and planet X is infinite. Would we ever arrive?
Universe infinity by measure is asymptotal.
I didn't ask you about the universe.
I
Okay? I
said
said if
infinity. I said infinity by measure is asymptotal. This is how we
Okay.
identify
Would
infinity plus
we
one.
ever, you see, this is the problem, dude. You're embarrassing yourself in front of everybody in the room. All you're just doing is you're opening up your mouth and you're talking. You're not saying anything of substance. Now, I asked you a direct question. If we left planet Earth and the distance between planet Earth and planet X is infinite, would we ever arrive?
Is there a contradiction in arriving at that planet?
Okay. Can you answer my question, please?
It's a yes
Uh,
or no question.
Okay.
the
Would we ever arrive?
No, by
Okay, thank you.
one
Right there.
regard, but
So
if you
now,
derive the
okay, now,
difference,
so you just agreed with me that an infinity cannot be traversed. Okay, so that's your first failing. Okay, now number two, you have to address the issue about that if there's an infinite regress, everything is of a second order event. But in order to have second order events, something would have to be primary. But if everything is a second order, then nothing is primary. So that's incoherent. Do you have a rebuttal to that?
um, there is absolutely no problem with an infinite regress in terms of it being a second order. Because you don't need to transverse infinity to
No,
go
we've already
backwards.
covered that. We've already covered that, sir. Okay? You're failing miserably here. Now, do you need me to repeat the question?
Uh, Sorry,
Okay.
one second.
Now,
I'm getting a litany of messages. Please repeat it while I'm
of course
reading
you are, because
messages at the same
people
time.
because people are trying to save you from philosophically drowning right now. Okay? Mr. Badass who said that I was afraid of Jack Angstreich. Okay? Now, if you are invoking that there's an infinite regress of causal succession. That means every event would be of a second order. Okay? Now, if every event is of a second order, then nothing would be of a primary order. Okay? So that's incoherent. Now, do you have a rebuttal to that?
Sorry, I'm responding to messages. Give me like 30 seconds, Darth. I got to
No,
respond to
please
all
do me.
these.
No, we're not going to do this. You're going to answer me now, or the interaction is over. Mister Darth Dawkins is afraid of Jack Angstreich. I know you're failing, and people are desperately sending you DMs to coach you, to tell you what to say. But you're
No, I'm getting
demonstrating
like
you are
hate mail
failing.
from your fans.
Ignore it. Ignore them. You're talking to me
Look at
now,
this white
smarty
supremacy.
pants.
White supremacy versus white
Yeah,
supremacy.
Mister Smarty Pants. Now, can you answer my question?
Sure, things can be of second order.
That's not an answer to my question.
Sorry, repeat your question.
I've already repeated it 3 times.
The
Mr. I'm afraid of Jack Angstreich. I've repeated the question 3 times. I've unpacked it 3 times. Are you having trouble understanding the scenario and the question?
No, I just simply forgot what you were doing.
Good, then answer
As
the
I've
question,
said,
please. Then answer the question.
I straight up just told you I forgot what you asked. I
Oh,
believe that
after
there's not
after
a
I've
problem with
asked
an
you
infinite
3
regress.
times, I've explained the scenario 3 times, and I've asked the
You're very
question
level-headed,
3
Darth.
times. So you still don't understand after I've unpacked it and I've asked the question 3 times.
Uh, I don't agree with your premise. That's what I've been saying like the
No,
entire time,
sir. No,
Darth.
no, no. You're not answering the question. The issue is not that you don't agree. You see, you're stalling. Okay, you are failing worse than the Hindenburg did crashing in Lakehurst, New Jersey. Now, are you going to answer the question?
The Again, I'm trying to remember what it is, but the let me just make sure that I have all of these apparent. I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with an
I know
infinite
it's tough
regress because I
answering
don't
while
think
you're
you need to
trying to read
transgress
people
it.
sending you
I don't
DMs.
think I don't think that you. I don't think there's a problem that things are second order because first of all, I don't
That's
think
not a that's not an answer to my question.
there is. again, you're asking me to try to remember what your claim is while I just told you that I
Wow,
don't remember what
dude,
your
you're
question
you're
is.
sitting there, you got big brass balls. You come in here, oh, Darth won't answer motive stolen. He's afraid of Jack Angstrike. All right, I ask you a couple of simple questions when you try to critique the Christian world, and you admit that you could only do so based upon reason out of your worldview, and now you are failing colossally when I ask you a simple question about the basis of your worldview. Okay, I've asked it 3 times. How about this? I'll repeat it again for a 4th time.
Or
Okay, now
please.
if there's an infinite regress, if all events are of an infinite regress, that means all events are of a second order. If everything is of a second order, then nothing is of a primary order. If nothing's primary, there can't be second order events.
Wait, why is it necessary that everything is of second order?
Because by definition, second order means that there has to be eventually something first, or there can't be something second. Second comes subsequently after primary or first, does it not? Would you like me to quote you?
I see
Would you
what
like
you're
me to
trying
quote
say.
you, Brant Bosserman, a philosopher, on this?
If you trail this,
can you have something that's of a
no,
second order if nothing is primary?
It's not saying that there isn't anything primary. Secondary orders can just cause tertiary. This is the whole point of
you're
infinity plus
bullshitting
one.
now. You know what? I'm going to end the interaction because not only is this is beating a dead horse, you're continuing to filibuster. You're not saying anything substantive to me. Okay? Can you have something that is of a second order if nothing is first or primary?
Yes.
Okay, we're done, folks. Yeah, dude, you failed miserably. Okay, if anyone else wants to talk to me, we'll move on. You see, this is what they do when they get cornered with their absolute bullshit. They just keep on moving their mouth as though they're saying something substantive. They know, and we know, they're not saying anything substantive, but they're still doing their little kabuki dance. Okay, it's embarrassing for you. Maybe you need to go back to Jack Angstrike and maybe get some more instruction on how to defeat Darth Dawkins, okay? Because you just got slaughtered, sir.
Oh, God.
So Darth,
I really encourage you to actually, approach the concept of infinity because you clearly don't understand it.
Sir, what instantiates anything in your worldview? When you want to talk infinity or anything else for that matter. Now, you said there's an infinite regress. How can you possibly know that?
No, I said I don't have a problem with an infinite regress.
No, sir. Were you asserting that there's an infinite regress of cause and effect to establish the causal principle?
I said that there's only a cause and effect to what we know in our known universe.
No, sir, I'm not talking to we. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to multiple people. Stop with the we crap. Okay, now I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you again. You said the causal principle is eternal, that there's an infinite regress of cause and effect. Okay, how can you possibly know that?
I want to be really clear about what I said because you're not listening to it.
Answer my question, please.
You have mischaracterized my argument.
No, how?
So make sure to restate it.
Is the causal principle
that's
real?
Not what I said.
Is the causal principle real?
Yes.
Do you need the causal principle in order to reason?
In our current rules of reason.
No, sir. No, listen to me. Do you need the causal principle to be true, without which you couldn't reason?
Yes, in our current rules of reason.
Is the causal principle real?
Yes.
Okay. What makes it real? I ask you, is it something independent, external, that institutes and secures and maintains the causal principle? Or is the causal principle internally self-contained? And you said it's internally self-contained because it's an infinite regress, right? Remember that? Now, how do you know that? How do you know that?
That's not what I said.
Yes, okay, you know what? We're done. We're moving on. Now you're lying.
Nope, I said...
Goodbye.
No, I said it's eternal.
Next.
I said, well,
no, we're done.
Well, here's the thing, Darth. This isn't your server. You can't just lie and then misrepresent people's arguments.
I'm not lying. Okay,
that's not how this works.
You know what? Listen to me carefully. If you lie to me, which you just did, if you lie to me, I will never talk with you again. Okay, so lie to me again, and I will put a note in your account, and I will never talk with you again.
I think you shouldn't talk to him.
Okay, now How could you possibly know about anything which is ultimately foundational that dictates everything else? How do you know that?
I'm not claiming to know it with totality.
Okay, so
I'm
you
claiming
don't know
to say
it then.
that to the best of our knowledge.
No, stop our. No, please not our. How do you know what is fundamental that dictates what is, can be, and cannot be? How do you know that?
I'm an instrumentalist. I don't think we can make ontological claims.
Okay, good. So good. You can't make any ontological claims?
Correct.
Good. Then you can't say there's reason.
Reason
you just
is merely
committed
inductive.
philosophical. Look, we're done. You keep on stepping on landmines and blowing up like dog food all over the place. We're done, sir.
Darth,
I'm going to move on to somebody else.
It's inductive, Darth.
No. Does inductive require that there any ontology can be instantiated?
It's logic is only to the best of our knowledge.
Answer
it is not
the fucking
merely ontological.
question. You know, sir, you are a dishonest person. I'm almost at the point now where I'm going to put a note in your account.
You're a Christian.
And I will never talk to you again.
Person?
Listen to me carefully. I get indignant with people like you who are deceptive. Now, you just said you cannot and do not make ontological claims. But if you're going to invoke that you're doing induction requires that you make at least one or more ontological claims. But you said you don't have any ontological claims. Does induction require some ontological claims?
It requires relative certainty, not ontological.
No, that's not okay. You know what? You can fuck off. You know what? Every time I ask you a fair question, you give me an evasive, deceitful answer. Guess what? I'm now putting a note in your account. I will never talk with you again. And the reason why is not because I disagree with you, not because you're debating against me, because every single time I ask you a question, you give me a completely evasive response. So I'm done.
No. You are mixing up.
I'm turning you down.
And
I won't
ontology.
be listening to you. We're done, sir. You're filibustering and you're bullshit. I'm done with you. You're done. I will never talk with you again.
What is Darth doing out of his hole?
I don't know. He's conflating
I get
epistemology
pissed when
and
people
ontology.
repeatedly lie to me.
He doesn't seem to understand what epistemology is.
Here.
Right, so now everyone's going to complain
we
about
just
Darth.
witnessed why there's a specific channel for him on the server.
Does any atheist want to maybe back up Brando or whatever his name was? Help him out a little bit.
So I'd like to give it a try. I mean, I don't really see the problem with an infinite regress.
Nice.
Okay, I'm ready. I just put a note in my account never to talk with that lying swine again.
No one fucking you fucking idiot. You're a fucking nerd, man. You fucking went on rant for no reason, you fucking idiot. No one fucking
I could care less about your heckling.
Do not treat Darth that way.
All right, Darth, do you remember
Brando
me?
is an absolute liar.
Oh,
He's a
stop
cockroach.
breaking the server rules.
I usually try to forget transvestites.
Stop breaking the server rules, man.
All right, I got to take a phone call. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't come back.
What a
Fucking
bitch.
insulting people, man.
Now the atheists are brave.
I heard Lando was a Satan.
Yeah, they're all coming out now.
Dude,
So
I mean,
did
I'm
the
trying to
tree
talk to
fall
him.
in the
When he's
tree?
back.
Hold on, did the tree fall in the forest? I don't know. So you're saying it didn't fall in the forest? How could you do this to me? You fucking liar!
A tree
That's
infinitely regresses into the force.
I'm just gonna speak for the room here. I'm pretty sure whenever
bring
Darth goes out on these rants and he just like goes off on somebody, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he knows this, but
Wait, I think he's actually going to go take his meds.
I don't think anyone in the room is standing with him. Yeah, am I the only one?
I mean,
I'm not going to lie.
It's because he's a YouTube star.
I'm not gonna lie, as someone who's
No,
actually
he's
like semi-atheist, he makes...
He's a YouTuber. He's an
Christian
anti-YouTube star. He makes other people stars.
He's not a YouTube star. Whoever is saying that is conflating two things.
Oh no, do we have another Darth defender?
famous.
Yes, we do. We have a conservative Republican Christian here. Yes, of course.
No, I
Of
don't
course.
defend
the,
Darth. I
the
don't like
triple
him.
combo.
We're no conservative.
Wombo combo.
I think
it's
we're
really
the
funny how
VR
he's just
Where's the water?
he's he's made an entire persona
Oh,
around
could you do this?
not understanding epistemology. Like,
Correct.
again, it's like the fact that he thinks that some of these, and I want to be really clear to all the people who are DMing me, all of his arguments that he's trying to make are based on a false assumption.